we're starting in 4 minutes, so I think
If you guys wanted to practice it, why don't you sit over there together and just do it like...
Okay, but I do a lot better with the music in the background.
I didn't touch it. Yes, please.
Guys, the live stream is going to begin in a minute. Every word can be heard. So take your places where you're going to be seated.
thank you.
Avi, that's the large one. That's my copy. You need to get a different copy. We're about to begin the live stream, which is like the 2 minutes before. So keep in mind that the live stream picks up sounds, everybody. So we wait about 2 minutes after we start the live stream. So Dylan, you can roll it. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to our family service, our 5th grade family service. We're really glad to be here together. It may be cold and nasty and rainy, but at least we were not snowed out for this service this evening. And the 5th grade families had a lovely potluck Shabbat dinner before the service. We're just getting back to those kinds of dinners and kind of really felt the camaraderie and how much we missed not having those over the last 2 years. So we're going to invite the 5th grade to lead so many different parts of the service this evening. We just said, well, we'll have them sit up here on the bima. It'll be a little bit easier. I'd like to thank Megan, one of the 5th grade teachers. She doesn't travel on Shabbat, so she's not able to be with us. Cantor Joe as well for the 5th grade, to the students and parents and siblings of the 5th grade. It's always good to be together and to sing the words, Hine ma tov, behold how good and how pleasant it is when people dwell together, get along together, and we present this song in 3 different ways. 5th graders, come together. Shabbat candles, we're actually going to sing the melody for the Hanukkah candles because we're getting ready for Hanukkah, which starts on Sunday night. And I already brought out to show everybody, we'll be lighting this on the next Shabbat Hanukkah. This is the Adas Emuno menorah that was presented to this congregation by a member of the congregation on December 13th, 1900. So we're going to be lighting it for the 122nd time during the holiday, as well as every night our outside menorah as well. So as we kindle these lights, that familiar Hanukkah blessing will be planted in your mind. Our welcome of Shabbat continues with the very beautiful and peaceful song, Shalom Aleichem, Peace Unto You, which we can find on page 24.
Shalom
You know, that song, which dates back to the 16th century in Tzfat, Israel, mentions the presence of the ministering angels, messengers welcoming the Sabbath. And in the story of Jacob that we're reading in the Torah portion, he's always having dreams, and he sees angels in those dreams. There's a beautiful teaching by Rabbi Lawrence Kushner at the bottom of page 25 that I'd like to share this evening. And so we understand that ordinary people are messengers of the Most High. Oh, and I should tell you that the word in Hebrew, malachim, can be angels, as in heavenly angels, emissaries of God, but it also can mean simply messengers. Like in last week's Torah portion, Jacob sent messengers out ahead as he was going to meet with his brother. So the same word, depending on the context, can mean angels or messengers. So we stand that ordinary people are messengers of the Most High. They go about their tasks in holy anonymity, often even unknown to themselves. Yet, if they had not been there, if they had not said what they said or did what they did, it would not be the way it is now. We would not be the way we are now. Never forget that you too, yourself, may be a messenger, perhaps even one whose errand extends over several lifetimes. Very interesting and challenging thought. For our call to worship, the Baruch Hu on page 28, Raina and Elliot lead us. Please rise. Standing for the Shema, we ask Avi and Jacob to lead us. The Shema is on page 34. As we continue with the V'ahavta, the next page.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher Anochi Mitzvacha Hayom al levanecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am v'shitecha b'betecha u'v'lekecha v'aderech u'shofecha u'bekumecha ושרתם להות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך ונפתחתם במזוזות ישעיה למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי וזה יהיה קדושי לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Avi and Jacob will be joined by Rin as together they lead us in our song of freedom, the Michamocha, page 40.
Again, ready?
To join him to lead us in the Hashkivenu prayer, the prayer for a good night's sleep, an untroubled night's sleep, among other things, on page 42. And because we want you to see Leah, just a moment.
I'm going to stand to the side right now. Stand right over here.
כל עמו ישראל.
Vishamru is always a special song. On page 44, the people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. Rin, Avi, and Reina will lead the verses, and everybody else will come forward to join, as you will, in the chorus. We are ready for the Tefillah Amidah prayer on page 46. The opening lines will be led by Elliot as we all rise.
Ata gibor el Adonai, mikayeh kol רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מקלקל חיים בכסד, מחיי הכל ברקמים רבים, צומק נופלים ורופא קולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מכם הוקם על גבורות, ומדום אלך, סלק מנית ומקיים, ומצמיח ישועה, ברמנת הלקיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקיים הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללו תעשלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. On page 55, let's read together in English. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. This section of prayer ends with the beautiful Song of Peace, Shalom Rav, on page 60. And we ask Raymond to come forward to help lead us. That was one of the best renditions of Shalom Rav I've ever heard. And I mean, we have two cantors here, and I've heard many cantors sing. But Raina, you kind of jumped into first place there with that Shalom Rav.
Without question, there's no machloket here.
Now at the end of the Amidah, it's customary to offer a prayer of healing for those in need of healing, be this a healing of body or healing of soul. I'm happy to report that the 5 people that I've been mentioning for several weeks are so significantly improved that they said, we're good now. So our prayers helped. I think they certainly have. But there's always people in our immediate families, our extended families, and then circles after that in need of the Misha Berach prayer. So we call them to mind now, and we ask the 5th grade to help lead us in the Misha Berach healing prayer.
Misha Berach can be found on page 253 in the middle of the page.
Now at the end of the Amidah, as is customary, we pause for a few moments of our own silent prayer and reflection. On this Shabbat, we think about how we can just bring a little bit greater measure of shalom bayit to our homes, to our families. In the Torah portion, we see a family that falls apart. And we know that so many of our families face challenges at one time or another. But the goal, the ideal, is shalom in the broadest sense of the word: peace, wholeness, healing, reconciliation, bayit in our homes, in our families. So let's summon some positive thoughts about that, and then we'll sing another song of shalom, Oseh Shalom. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. We're ready now for Seder Hakafat Torah, for the taking out of the Torah scroll. The Torah is often referred to as our Eitz Chaim, as our tree of life. As we get ready to sing the Tree of Life song, please rise.
It is a tree of life to have a fast to it and on its authorities are happy. It is a tree of life to have a fast to it and on its authorities are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to have a fast to it and on its authorities are happy. It is a tree of life to have a fast to it and on its authorities are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Please be seated.
No, now you got it. I know, but somebody's got to bless the Torah.
We will.
We shall bless the Torah.
Now, I was remarking that Jacob, his life was full of dreams. At crucial moments of his life, he had these dreams that really did give him a sense of connection, a spiritual connection, and an opportunity to move forward. This week's Torah portion is about one of Jacob's sons. It's actually about all of them, but it begins by pointing out the dreams of Joseph. As you know, the big family of 12 brothers and one sister are not going to get along very well. We know this story, but what we hear about in the first part of the Torah portion is that Joseph has dreams. He shares those dreams with his brothers, and they're fed up. They just see this as the favored child of the father, thinking that he's superior to everybody else, because the verses that the Cantor's about to chant speak about Joseph saying, "Hey, brothers, hey, guys, I had this dream of sheaves of wheat. There were 12 sheaves of wheat, and 11 of you were bowing down to my sheaf of wheat." And then he goes on to have a second dream and says, "Hey, guys, brothers, I dreamed about stars and the moon and the sun." The moon and the sun were the parents, but all the stars were revolving around my star. So this wasn't taken too well, and this just exacerbated tensions between Joseph, and his brothers. In this case, the dreams got him in trouble. But when he eventually goes down to Egypt, his ability to interpret dreams will actually help him get out of prison and launch him on a trajectory to become the second most powerful person in all of Egypt. So the Torah is telling us that dreams are powerful things, often for the good, sometimes not for the good as well. As you heard the Cantor mention, before we read the Torah, we bless the Torah, and the fifth grade has been working on the Torah blessings and will continue to, because those are key blessings in our tradition. Are you ready?
Baruch et Adonai Emerah.
Baruch Adonai HaMevarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Emerah Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu B'Kol
Ha'amim v'natan lanu et
Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vayachalom Yosef Chalom Vayaged le'echav V'yosipu otzenoto Vayomer Aleihem Shimun hachalom hazeh asher chalamti v'hine anachnu malamim alumim b'toch hasadeh v'hine kama alamati v'gam nitzava והנה תסובנה אלומותיכם ותשתחוונה לאלומתי.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher natan lanu Torah Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu HaTorah. Amen.
Very nice job. As we hold the Torah high and wrap the Torah, please rise.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומכך מאושר. יראתיה דרכיהם בכל נתיבותיך שלום. השכיבנו בין השופר חודש חודש ימינו חודש ימינו
Please be seated. Given that we're just 2 days before Hanukkah, we thought that the fifth graders would give us a little refresher course, if you will, about Hanukkah and some of the key symbols and aspects of the holiday. So I'm going to call them forward with their props for the Hanukkah presentation. We will hear from our fifth graders in this order, from Rin, Madzi, Jacob, Avi, Reina, and Elliot.
Here.
No, to the mic. You're good.
Here.
You're perfect. That's the spot for it.
I'm reading about oily foods. Donuts and potato pancakes are oily foods. So we eat them in memory of the oil that lasted for 8 days. We only eat these foods on Hanukkah. Eating oily foods is a tradition/custom, and people eat other oily foods besides donuts and potato pancakes, such as like fries and high oily foods.
Well said.
It's okay, for Hanukkah you can eat oily foods.
Do I have to read the title?
Candles/shamash. You light all of the other candles with the shamash. The reason that we light 8 candles is because the oil lasted for 8 days.
When the Jewish I'm talking about the dreidel. When the Jewish people were hiding in the caves, they learned Torah secretly. When the Greeks checked on them in the caves, they quickly hid the Torah and started playing dreidel. The dreidel has 4 letters that equal to the different amount of coins one would get. Gimel, Nun, Hey, and Shin. This is dreidel, and this is a picture of dreidel.
And after the service, I invite you downstairs to see my dreidel collection. And if anybody wants to spin 1 or 2, I'll be happy to do that with you. And so, Avi.
Hello. For those of you who are here, not here, that might know or not, my name is Avi, and I will be presenting the menorah. There are many things about the menorah. How back then it was only 7 plus the later candle. How they were usually made out of gold, and they were not used for Hanukkah because Hanukkah did not exist yet. They were used for celebration. After the whole event of Hanukkah, they found this and decided to celebrate. They looked a while and found oil. They put it on the candles, and it should have lasted them 1 day of joy and dancing. But it lasted them 8 of joy and dancing. And so, if you want a short, quick explanation, they have improved. That's why there are 8 plus the liter candles now. But that's the actual explanation before. Or maybe it is that they improved. Thank you for listening. Why is that so funny?
I am sharing about the olive oil the Jews found in the basement of a temple that the Greeks tried to destroy. The Jews lit a candle, and it kept burning for 8 days. We got the menorah and all 8 candles from the candle that kept burning for 8 days.
Judah the Maccabee. Judah the Maccabee led a small group of Jewish soldiers to fight against the Greeks without weapons. Judah and a small army won the war and saved the Jewish nation and allowed the Jewish people to keep their religion.
Thank you for those mini lessons on Hanukkah. We appreciate it very much.
Sorry, I was so funny.
You're great.
So now as we move to the concluding segment of our service, We turn to the bottom of page 282 for the Aleinu prayer. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei geulah liyotzeh b'reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו וגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו הנות, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום להשב אותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחתינו, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
As we remain standing on this Shabbat, we now call to mind, in love and reverence, those recently taken from our midst. Morris Lewitter, father of Fran Schulman. April Elsasser, friend of Lauren Rowland. On this Shabbat, we also call to mind, in love and reverence, the Yortzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Bernard Fine, father of Jay Fine, Marilyn Fine, mother of Jay Fine, Irving Chalkin, father of Dennis Chalkin, Paul Heyman, father of Joan Rosen. And on this Shabbat, we also recall with such sadness the 10th anniversary of Sandy Hook, all the lives of the children and teachers lost on that tragic day. For all those close to our hearts and for all those for whom there may be no one to say Kaddish, we join in the Kaddish prayer on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbi be'alma malchutei b'hayechon of yom echon Yeh d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala uvizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach leolam olamei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalab shmei d'kudisha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nekmata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamayim, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. A few words from our congregational president, Michael.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi. I could feel you quelling the entire service.
You know.
And I'm glad you enjoyed it. And thank you, student Cantor Flaxman. I marvel at your reading of the Torah. Very powerful, very interesting. Welcome parents and siblings of our fifth grade students. I would have to say that I've seen 38 fifth grade classes, and this is by far the most enthusiastic and the best educated and the best looking. So, yeah. And thank you to the fifth grade teacher Megan and Joe, who teaches Hebrew. And welcome student Cantor Iris Colin and Tal Colin. And see what you're missing by staying home. You don't get to see Cantor Colin. Torah study meets at 10 a.m. tomorrow in the social hall, and the discussion will focus on the fascinating story of Joseph. Religious school meets as usual this Sunday, not as usual necessarily, because there'll be a Hanukkah celebration at 11 o'clock. I guess parents are welcome to come, yes, and enjoy the celebration of Hanukkah. In addition, there's a Tat Hanukkah celebration at 9:30, led, I guess, by Kerry Klein, and with the participation of the Rabbi. Are you, yes. So, if you know any Tats, bring them along. Sunday.
Pass one on the street. Bring them along.
Bring them in. Sunday is a big day here at Adas Emuno. It's the first day of Hanukkah, and we'll light our temple menorah at 7 p.m. sharp, and then come inside for a celebration and some latkes and donuts. And on each of the nights of Hanukkah, we'll be lighting candles at 7 p.m. sharp, regardless of the weather. The Adas Emuno Book Club will be meeting via Zoom on Monday, January 9th, for a lively and informative discussion of the recently published book, 100 Saturdays, Stella Levy and the Search for a Lost World by Michael Frank. This is a book about the Jews, Sephardic Jews of the island of Rhodes in the Aegean Sea, which existed for centuries until it was destroyed in the Holocaust. We continue to collect food for the Center for Food Action, as always, and the center is especially looking for baby diapers, which are very much in need. So if you can bring baby diapers to the school, to the porch, or inside the school, that would be very helpful. Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by the fifth grade parents, and at this Oneg, you'll also get a chance to view just a portion, I guess, of the Rabbi's dreidel collection. And the dreidels are for display only and should not be handled. That's what I'm told.
Thank you.
Yes. And thank you, Dylan, for live streaming tonight's service. Shabbat Shalom.
I do want to add, when you stop and think about how much of the service the fifth graders led tonight in Hebrew, it's impressive. And their enthusiasm is high, but by coming to the Sunday morning service and having excellent Hebrew teacher in Cantor Joe, guys, I am proud of you. When the president used the word kvel, that's a Yiddish word that means just being really so proud that you're glowing about it. So, kol hakavod, as we say in Hebrew, which means all power to you for having led so much of the service this evening. I do know that the oneg will be good because I saw some of the desserts in the kitchen. However, please note that we do say a few blessings before we eat. So when everybody goes downstairs immediately after the service, please wait for the kiddush and the hamotzi, so we can enjoy the oneg together. And so, as we get ready for Hanukkah, we're going to close the service on page 365 with one of the most popular Hanukkah songs, Hanukkah, O Hanukkah. One last time, fifth graders, come on up, one last time.
Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather around the table, we'll give you a treat. Say we want to play with in latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night that they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night that they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Oh Hanukkah, a festival of joy, a holiday, a jolly day for every girl and boy. Spin the whirling dreidels all week long, eat the sizzling latkes, singing a happy song. Now light them, tonight them, the flickering candles in a row. Retell the wondrous story of God's eternal glory and dance by the candles cheering glow. Retell the wondrous story of God's eternal glory and dance by the candles cheering glow.
One more time.
Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all get some more. Gather around the table, we'll give you a treat. Children want to play with it, not rush to eat. And while we are waiting, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.